Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Fall Guys. Yo, does anyone remember this game? I feel like you couldn't escape this game when it came out in 2020. I mean, it was everywhere. And it didn't just feel like that. Fall Guys was the #1 global seller on Steam and sat at the top of Twitch for a couple weeks after its release. It won multiple Golden Joystick Awards and it won a Steam Award. But what just was Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and why do I have 120 hours in it? We should start with what Fall Guys was in 2020. So Fall Guys, it was a 60-player battle royale platformer and one of the first of its kind. You played as a tiny bean that you could dress up in costumes and compete in a variety of game modes. The different game modes included races, survival, logic, team games, and then the final round, where if you won, you got a crown. And crowns were important because they weren't just rewards for winning. No, they were also a currency. In the shop, you could use your crowns to buy tons of different costumes, and thus the cycle continued. And the economy overall, it was great. It took 10 crowns to get cool skins like Shovel Knight or the Scout from TF2, and there was a currency called Kudos that you get just from playing. Kudos can be used on smaller items to dress up your bean and was available for all players regardless of skill level. So the economy kind of rules. Everything is self-sufficient and you're rewarded for being good. However, it can't function properly if the game sucks. But luckily, it was tons of fun. The real fun of Fall Guys though, come on, it came from that physics engine. A lot of the time, you weren't competing against other people, but instead the physics. Those first early rounds too, they were so much fun. The whirligig, come on man, everyone was trying to go through the middle. You were a chump if you couldn't make it through. Such classics like Dizzy Heights, Hoarders, Hexagon. This one, Hexagon, that was the best. Seesaw, oh my god, I remember no one could work together on Seesaw. And Slime Climb, this one was the best. It separated the casuals from the super ultra gamers. I got this clip from 2020 of me on Rollout.
Oh, what the frick? I'm so dead. Oh! Ow, I live!
Like, come on, Fall Guys was fun. Packed into this game was tons of charm. Everything was themed after a game show, and the controls were mad simple. I mean, there were 3 buttons: walk, jump, and dive. How could they mess this up? I mean, it was too simple to fail. Right? On October 8th, 2020, Fall Guys launched Season 2 and they tripped and fell on their face after their very first big update. This update only added 4 new rounds on top of the existing 25, and 3 of them straight up sucked. Egg Siege, Hoopsie Legends, Wall Guys. This one was genuine garbage. You have to try and push these blocks to get over a wall, and try doing that with 30 selfish players. You are penalized for pushing the blocks and trying to help out. It fundamentally sucked balls. So, the game got worse after the update, but they still held on to a lot of the popularity during this time. That Twitter account, man, it got insanely popular for its Reddit culture memes. Who can forget Chonkitude, It Is Wednesday My Beans, and Big Yeetus. Ugh. In the mid-season update, they added Big Fans, a good and challenging race map that highlights one of Fall Guys' biggest problems I have yet to mention: the downtime. Good players can beat this map pretty easily, but the game doesn't continue until every single player is done. All 60. So you're left spectating these kids until 40 qualify or until the timer comes out. When the time that you're actually playing is only 1 minute and then 4 minutes of waiting, another minute of loading, and then you get into another round, it really adds up. So once Season 3, which was the winter season, rolled around, Fall Guys, for lack of a better term, it kind of fell off, and the reasons I think are pretty simple. The game just got worse and worse with every update. The only content drops from this time were collaboration skins and slight round variations, like, for example, sometimes this map will shoot fruit instead of balls. Another batch of not fun survival and race modes were added, and out of these new ones, 3 were good and 5 garbage maps were added into the rotation. This problem got worse and worse as the seasons rolled out, until eventually the playlist was essentially flooded with trash. Fall Guys hype died down a lot. The player base left, and fast forward to February of 2021 in the Nintendo Direct, Fall Guys was announced to be coming to Switch and went multi-platform later that year. That same year in March, Epic Games decides to vacuum up Mediatonic and the rights to Fall Guys. Fall Guys went silent during this transition, where Epic Games saw this IP they sucked up was struggling and said, "So look, Fall Guys, this is you right now, right? Struggling, down your luck. But this right here, this is Fortnite's graph. So we're gonna turn you into the next Fortnite, all right? Forget the graph. In your future, kid, I see sponsorship with Marvel and Star Wars. You're gonna be the next media conglomerate." And then on June of 2022, Fall Guys was announced to be free for all. So you're probably wondering, now that the game is free and not $20, how are they gonna make their money? Well, crowns as a currency was completely removed, and now there are V-Bucks, Showbucks, that you can buy with 80 real-life dollars. You have to pay for the battle pass, and all it gets you is cosmetics. All of your crowns got turned into Kudos, which is now a worthless currency that you can only only buy chewing gum and cigarettes with. And worst of all, they added even more bad rounds. The playlist was essentially flooded with garbage, so the game wasn't even fun anymore.
Yep. But that was only the beginning.
As new seasons came by, rounds kept getting worse and they started vaulting seasons, and at one point they took Slime Climb out of rotation, which is insane, culminating in the last big season update with Fall Guys Creative where you can make your own rounds. This seemed like an actual cool addition to the game, and from here on out, seasons ended. Mediatonic is probably working on something else. However, the implementation of Fall Guys Creative, it's more Roblox than Mario Maker. They have these like creative lobbies where you can chill out and hang with people, but who the hell logs on the Fall Guys to make friends? On top of it, the engine is so limited, you can't make cool games like in Roblox and Fortnite. As for the actual rounds, instead of Mediatonic making new maps, they start integrating people's creative maps, and these are not very good.
What? I literally fell through the map.
Garbage.
It's been a year since this last update was launched, so what has Fall Guys really turned into in 2024? Let's find out. So before even booting it up, I realized they got rid of the Ultimate Knockout tagline and they renamed rounds to levels. And then when you actually launch the game, which, they took off Steam, they bombard you with a pop-up ad that Kazuna AI collaboration is in the shop. Pressing spacebar to try and get rid of it brings you straight to the shop. This game got so many wild collaborations over the years. I mean, Toe Jam and Earl, what are you doing in Fall Guys? For the Incredible Hulk skin that is at the front and center of the shop, it costs $8.99. for one singular skin. But no, if you want the entire set of 2 skins, an emote, and a highlight intro, it costs $22.99. That is laughable. I should have known the state of the game when the first thing they do is throw you into the shop, which, by the way, the shop used to look like this. It was a singular screen, nice and compact, and now it's longer than a CVS receipt. And I forgot to mention this confusing splash in the loading screen. Play levels and unlock items through the Battle Pass. You can only get patterns for free from the Battle Pass, and why include the crowns? That doesn't exist anymore. This game makes me so mad. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't just microtransactions, there's also a game here. Fall Guys went from the 60-player Battle Royale down to a 32-player Battle Royale. 32 players. And it doesn't make matches any quicker either because they never fixed the loading. If you beat a race round first, you still have to spectate the next player. Wait for everyone to get pushed out, loading screen, round preview, countdown, and then you play the game. The first game of Fall Guys I played, I got Leading Light, where you all just crowd a beam of light, Hoopsie Legends, which fucking blows, a creative map where you clip through the map, and then Jump Showdown, which I won, of course. We only played 4 rounds and 3 of them sucked. My next match, I qualified for a user-made race that took me 30 seconds to beat, and then waited almost a full 2 minutes before I was able to have control of my guy again. What was fun about the Season 1 maps was that they were simple for everyone to understand. What I mean by that is that they weren't designed around making it to the end. They were designed with these choke points in mind. Grabbing other players, capitalizing on those goofy physics, launching your little guy across the map. Creative maps are designed around straight lines where it just feels like a race against yourself. When you take away the physics, it reveals how shallow and slow the game really is. After those rounds, we closed the game because we weren't having fun. I actually won rounds and I wasn't having fun because my win, it felt meaningless. I got 600 kudos as my reward, and that gets me absolutely nothing. Just add it to my 75,000 pile, it doesn't matter. So, Fall Guys fell off. I can't believe with such a simple concept, it was twisted and mutated into a media machine where the focus on fun gameplay lost sight, and now that it's in the community's hands, it's just an abandoned baby. The only way for Fall Guys to come back is if they hit a hard reset bomb and start completely fresh with the round. There is too much garbage right now keeping this game from being consistently fun, and then starting completely over with that shop. Even if rounds were fun, they ultimately are meaningless because in the end, what am I fighting for? In conclusion, Fall Guys represents everything wrong with the games industry today. Games too focus on squeezing every last dime out of you instead of leaving you with any semblance of joy or happiness. Go play Skyward Sword instead. I'm having a lot of fun with that game right now, and good night, Tri-State area.